Welcome back to Ships of Lost Lore. Sorry I've been on hiatus. A lot, and I do mean a lot of things have cropped up recently, and well, my ability to post and do things got significantly curtailed. But you're not here for that. What you're here for are Ships of Lost Lore, things that, tend to get lost in the shuffle. Now, today, I'm not going to really cover a fighter from Star Wars that's really being lost in the shuffle, per se. It's somewhat well known in the EU circles, and apparently, during the Ahsoka trailer, made an appearance, which, well, par for the course of Dave Filoni of taking from the EU because he has nothing better. Yeah, don't get me started on Dave Filoni, but we're not here for that. Today, we are here for the E-Wing starfighter of the New Republic. Now, the concept behind the E-Wing, it was supposed to be the one-stop shop replacement fighter for pretty much the X-Wing, the B-Wing, and the Y-Wing. It was supposed to be the brand new face of the New Republic Starfighter Corps. It was supposed, the X-Wing had served its day, the E-Wing was going to take its place. Well, certain things, shenanigans, teething problems, and some other issues kept the E-Wing from reaching this lofty goal, and the X-Wing continued in service all the way into the XJ X-Wing series that you see in the, New Jedi Order Yuzong Vong era. But, that being said, the E-Wing, when it got the bugs worked out and kinks worked out, while it was labeled as an escort fighter, where this thing, in my humble opinion, truly shined was assault / bomber role. Because when I start telling you the internals of this thing, you're going to be like, God damn, why the hell are they trying to make this thing a dogfighter? Honestly, the real world analogy to the E-Wing is this fighter, the P-47 Thunderbolt, which was originally billed to be an air-to-air fighter, but really became a really good ground attack fighter and just really good at just blowing stuff up. So, the E-Wing. What makes it so good for the bomber role? Well, you see, fam. It carries pretty much the same shielding, if not quite a little bit better shields than the X-Wing. Its armor is reinforced more than the X-Wing. It carries 3 guns, 3 laser cannons. Now you can see there's one over the canopy, which I find an odd design choice, but hey, I'm not the Starfighter designer. And then it has 2 more on the wings. And internally, this thing can carry an eye-watering 16, count them folks, 1-6 proton torpedoes in its launcher. It only has 1 launch tube, but carries 16 proton torpedoes. To put this into perspective, folks, the T-65B X-Wing Luke used in A New Hope to destroy the Death Star only carries 6. Not 16, 6. A B-Wing can carry up to about 8 or 10. A Y-Wing can, again, carry about 8 or 10. E-Wing, 16 proton torpedoes, along with 3 laser cannons. And heavier, quote-unquote armor, but more hardened fuselage, just as good as shielding, if not better, and just about, and I think slightly faster, if not nearly as maneuverable as an X-Wing. So you've got a ridiculously, stupidly good fighter that if you've got these things in squadron strength, 12 times 16. Yeah, just do the numbers there. I'm not going to do the math right now because, well, I have better things to do, but y'all get the idea about the absurd amount an E-Wing squadron could carry into battle if fully loaded. That's enough to basically bitch slap a couple of Imperial Star Destroyers into the Nether Realm. I mean, y'all saw the Y-Wings with their ion bombs basically knock out a Star Destroyer. Yeah, imagine E-Wings loaded with 16 ion bombs apiece. A single E-Wing could basically knock out 2 to 3 Star Destroyers on its own. Forget the rest of its squadron. So, yeah. Now, I talked about earlier the E-Wing in its early days had teething problems. This fighter came out right about the time, like the prototypes and the first production run came out, right about the time of Grand Admiral Thrawn's invasion in the Thrawn trilogy. Not this stuff in Ashoka. No. I'm talking the original OG 91 trilogy. The E-Wing was just starting to come out and come online. The problems that it had was the original fighters could only take R7 droids. Now, R7 droids were, as you can tell by R2D2, supposed to be way more advanced. But they were finicky and had their own issues on top of E-Wing, also having problems with laser cannons, Tabana gas, aka the stuff that makes the laser bolts, which are actually plasma, but hey, tomato here, right, guys? But anyways, because of these things, it took some time for the E-Wing to truly sort out the kinks, and by that point, it missed out on its chance to become the mainline fighter. Not that, even with the kinks, Starfighter Command said, this is a very promising fighter. It's actually really good. It's just got issues, which would later be solved in the, Block 2 and Block 3 variants. E1, E1 or E2. I can't remember the actual nomenclature. I'd have to, go back and dig through the weeds of the research. But either way, the E-Wing finally got its kinks worked out. It turned into an outstanding fighter. And like I said, I don't think the New Republic really tasked the E-Wing to replace the correct fighter. In my humble opinion, the E-Wing should have replaced the B-Wing and the Y-Wing just outright as the light assault strike fighter. The light bomber / assault fighter, because the E-Wing was fast enough, maneuverable enough that it could tangle with TIE fighters with little to no difficulty. So it could fight its way to target, drop a ridiculous amount of proton torpedoes on target, and then stay in play and continue to dogfight, along with X-Wings and A-Wings. In my humble opinion, the perfect triumvirate of fighters moving forward when the E-Wing was adopted would have been the X-Wing as your standard dogfighter, E-Wing is the assault fighter, and then the A-Wing is the interceptor. And you basically game, set, match, and just keep improving them over time. Now, the most famous squadron of E-Wings that you'll probably find in any of the books is Black Moon Squadron, which was named famously for the Borlius campaign in New Jedi Order, Rebel Dream, Rebel Stand. While the original commander kind of lost his mind, sadly, Luke Skywalker did, for one engagement, actually lead Black Moon Squadron. And it racked up an impressive ship kill count during the evacuation from Borlius, due to said amazing amount of torpedoes it carries. Now, do I think the E-Wing is perfect? No. There are some changes that I would personally have made to really bring out the assault fighter role. First off, instead of having one torpedo launcher tube with 16 torpedoes, I would have stretched that to 2 torpedo tubes, 2 launchers, kind of like the X-Wing, and given them 8 each. So you could dump way more proton torpedoes than it actually could in one sitting. Second off, the laser cannon you see up top, I would have placed that with an ion cannon, which, yes, would, overall take down the ability to destroy a target with laser cannons, but it would give the E-Wing the capability the Y-Wing has to actually disable craft in case of destroying them while doing patrol missions. So, overall, E-Wing. I know everybody loves the X-Wing, maybe the Y-Wing, maybe the B-Wing, some crazy people like the A-Wing. Personally, I'd fly an E-Wing once you got the kinks worked out. Even in the configuration, it ended up with 3 laser cannons and 1 really big. I'm sorry, I know I keep emphasizing that, but it is ridiculously huge. In fact, I think the only other starfighter that has that kind of proton torpedo capacity is the TIE Bomber. And the E-Wing is multitudes faster and better protected than a TIE Bomber. So, boom, there it is. Even in the configuration, once they finally figured out, and when they finally, did some product improvement upgrades, they made it so the E-Wing can interface with R5 and R2 droids instead of just straight R7s. But once I got the kinks worked out, I'd probably fly an E-wing for the New Republic, just because it's a, you know, fighter pilots make movies, bomber pilots make history. Now, if you can tell me where that quote comes from, well, I'll give you a nice pat on the back, digitally, of course. But anyways, that's the video for today. I hope you all enjoyed. It's a little bit longer than my normal videos, but that's the E-wing from the EU Legend. God knows what Dave Filoni is going to do with it in Ahsoka. I don't think I want to know. But anyways, I'll catch you all in the next time.